Hey, so today I want to talk about something that, you know, I did, not really did, but like pretty much a topic that no one's going to care about, but I just kind of want to rant about it just because it's something I actually care about, so it's enough for me to rant about it even if no one else is really going to care. But so for the first time, I actually played Street Fighter V online. And I have played games online in the past. Like one of the first ones I played online was like Black Ops, and I hated it because, well, I was literally a kid and I didn't know how to play the game, and people would just kill me over and over, and then people on my team would get mad at me because I was literally a kid not knowing what I was doing. But my first fighting game online was Mortal Kombat 9. And Mortal Kombat 9 kind of set the stage for how I felt about like online fighting games because Mortal Kombat 9 in its online mode was the reason that I despise online fighting games so much, because Mortal Kombat 9 had like no quality control when it came to like who you would face or what people would do and all that shit. Like fighting games take like big measures against like people who like rage quit or spammers or all that kind of shit now. And they usually like try to like put you with like they have like a ranking system, and then they put you against people who are like the same rank as you or some shit like that. But back when I played Mortal Kombat 9, it had none of that. You went online and you fought whoever you fought, right? Whoever you fought was whoever you fought. There was just nothing to it. But back when I played Mortal Kombat 9, the only people you fought online, you would never see anything special. You would never see a Sub Zero, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Sindel, Melina, Katana, Reptile, Ermac. No, you never saw any of these characters. You saw only Scorpion. When I played Mortal Kombat 9, I would always play as Baraka. So I'd go online, I'd play as Baraka, and every time it was a fucking Scorpion player. And every time, all they did was chain and then teleport. Because in Mortal Kombat 9, Scorpion's chain does not leave him open, like at all. If you block or dodge Scorpion's chain, they can easily like cancel out of like the chain miss by just teleporting. So Scorpion could throw the chain, and if he hits you with it, then usually they'll pull you in and then uppercut you. But if they miss, they immediately teleport the second you block it or dodge it. And sometimes Scorpion's like teleport would just hit you. Like even if you were blocking, sometimes you would still just get hit by it because your character wouldn't turn around fast enough to block it. And even if you did block it, like the person playing could easily teleport out of that, causing an infinite loop of teleports where eventually they're going to hit you because you're going to try and punish them for teleporting. And it was just a jumbled mess. Like Mortal Kombat 9, every time I had to deal with Scorpion players, it was just chain, teleport, chain, teleport, chain, teleport. And if you block the teleport, they would cancel their teleportation fail with a teleport, which would then cause you to eventually get hit because obviously, if you block a move, your first instinct is to punish the person. If you block a move, your first instinct is to then attack because they failed and now it's your turn. But in Mortal Kombat 9, Scorpion had very few punishes because the chain could be done from anywhere, meaning he could just stay as far away and throw the chain and you couldn't punish him. Even if you had a projectile, because if you had a projectile, he would teleport, and because you were in your animation for your projectile, he would then hit you, causing a fucking loop where he'll teleport, hit you, hit an uppercut, because the uppercuts do a lot of damage in Mortal Kombat, which will knock you flying back. He'll then chain, teleport, uppercut, chain, teleport, uppercut, chain, teleport, uppercut. And that was the strategy in Mortal Kombat 9. And that was why I hated online fighting games. Mortal Kombat 9 made me realize that people online don't care about getting good at the game, and people online don't care about, having fun matches. They only want to win. They only play online games so they can be the best, so they can rub in other people's faces that they're better than them. But if all you can do is spam, how is that fucking fun? Like, here's the thing. I've definitely played fighting games where I didn't know what to do, so I kind of repeated things a lot. But I don't like spamming projectiles. And sometimes I do like the same combo multiple times. But at the same time, sometimes I don't know how to fucking play as a character and I'm learning. But I'm never going to, like, if I find something that is like objectively bullshit and it can literally just completely decimate another person online, I would never do it, because I would only do it when I, feel like enough time has passed for it to be acceptable for me to do it. Because I don't want to be that guy who just spams the same move over and over again, even if sometimes I do certain moves the same, like especially in like Street Fighter 5, I do a lot of like heavy sweeps. Like I do a heavy sweep a lot, but it's easier to block and easier to punish than anything else. And most of the characters I play as don't really have like anything that's like heavy or light punish. It's kind of just a medium punish. But I played Street Fighter 5 online, and I already had bad experience from Mortal Kombat 9 all those years ago, and I was just like, I bet, like, first thing went through my head was every player is going to be Ryu, and every character is going to shoot a Hadouken, and that's all they're going to do. And guess what happened? I fought like 6 Ryus in a row, and the only thing they did was throw Hadoukens. They didn't do anything else. And then when I fought a Ken, I was like, oh shit, he's going to throw Hadoukens, isn't he? They only threw like Ryu and Ken did the same thing, just Hadoukens nonstop, to the point where I was annoyed with it. I was like, okay, great, this like Street Fighter 5 online is just projectile spammers. And then I fought Chun-Li and eventually Nash, and I thought both of those, I was thinking like, okay, these might actually be real fights. No, Chun-Li spammed Kakoken over and over again, just spamming projectiles nonstop, and Nash kept sonic booming over and over. Eventually, when I fought someone like Guile, all Guile, the player playing Guile, did was throw projectiles and do a flash kick when I got close, which I get, that's how that character is supposed to be played. He's supposed to be like a cheap character, but it's just so fucking boring. And like, I did win quite a few matches, but do you know how infuriating it is to just play a fighting game and just everyone just does the same thing, just projectile, projectile, projectile. And not to mention, these people are like high ranking too. Like, these people were like ranking high because they were such projectile spammers that they won so many matches due to just being annoying. And granted, the thing about Street Fighter V online was when there was a good fight, there was a good fight. Whenever I fought against someone who actually knew what they were doing, or even maybe if they didn't really know what they're doing, but they were still trying, those fights were good. They were fun, and they were like pretty exciting. It was like actually exciting compared to like fighting an AI. It was like kind of actually fun. And I was like, wow, these matches are great. But those matches were far and few, because it would be like, I'd get like 6 matches in a row with just a projectile spammer, and then I'd get one good match. And not to mention, the projectile spammers would ask for a rematch every time, and I didn't want to be the asshole and just walk away, so I was like, okay, fine, I'll rematch. So anytime someone wanted a rematch, I rematched them. But the projectile spammers wanted as many rematches as they could have, while the people who give good matches and were actually fun to play against, they would quit after literally one fight. Whether they won or lost, they would just be like, okay, I won, or okay, I lost, and then they walk off. And then I would be subjected to like 6 projectile spammers in a row. Like, I fought someone with a really good Ibuki, I fought someone with a really good Balrog, I fought someone with a good Bison, but then after that, it would just be projectile spam, just someone to pick Ryu, someone to pick Ken, somebody pick Sakura, and they would just spam Hadoukens and just block you. And Sakura was horrible because her Hadoukens can also go in the air, so if you try to jump at her, she throws it in the air. You try to walk at her, she throws it in front of you, so she can literally cover the whole screen in Hadoukens and screw you over and make it so that you literally cannot progress towards her. But that's the thing. The fights that were good were good. I had so many fights that were actually really good fights where I was like, holy shit, this is like, even if I lose, this is like a good fight. And then there were ones where I would lose and I would just be like, how could I have ever fucking done anything? Like, what could I have done? I can't get out of my block. You can't time your jumps. Because, and here's the thing too. When I fought people who played on PC, because it tells you if people play on like PC, PS4, or whatever the fuck else, because it tells you who's playing on what, because it has like crossplay. Whenever I fought someone on PC, their projectiles were 10 times faster than anyone else. Whenever I would fight like a Ryu on a PlayStation, they would do like Hadouken, wait a bit, Hadouken, and then they'd wait a bit. But when you fought someone on PSC, on the PC, it would just be projectile, 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 like back. It was like as if they were rapid firing. And last time I checked, I tried to see how many projectiles you can do in quick succession. You can't do them because the game has like a 1 to 2 second cooldown on projectiles. So the fact that these people were throwing projectiles that fast made me kind of think that either A, something about the PC version is faster, or B, they are cheating. Because I know, like, no one likes to like go online and hear that person who's just like, they're cheating, right? But I actually saw someone fucking cheating. Because as soon as I saw it was, every time I saw PC, I was like, please just be a normal player. And there was one who played as Nash, and Nash has a teleport. Like, Nash has like a weird little teleport where he blips to the other side of the screen. Like, that's actually part of his character. However, it required like meter. It was like a fucking like meter special or something. And whoever was this PC player who's playing as Nash was literally teleporting around. Not like in a way that was like, oh, this is part of the game. This character was moving faster than me and just going back and forth, back and forth. Like he would just kind of like dash, 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 back and forth, and then he would just suddenly teleport behind me, start attacking, teleport to the other side, attack, and it wasn't Nash's actual teleport because Nash's actual teleport had a little like a little flare to it. He has like this little smoke or something that goes around him, but this didn't. It would just like blip to the other side as if like in like one frame he just teleported without anything changing, and that's when I realized, holy shit, the people on PC can actually cheat. But that was the only time. Like, that was the only time. But every time I fought someone on PC and they played a projectile character, they shot at like a million miles an hour. They would just shoot nonstop projectiles, and it felt like they were faster than the console version. So I don't know if the PC's faster or what. But my experience with Street Fighter V is about the same as what it was with Mortal Kombat 9, except that there were more good matches on it. Is that Street Fighter V was just filled with nothing but projectile spams, moves that can like completely block you entirely, like Guile's flash kick that hits not only the front of him but far ahead the front of him and the air and far in the air, as well as Zeku, who has a flash kick that can go into the air as well and can be doubled as a projectile. So there were some characters where they would just spam moves that were basically like a defensive measure, or they spam projectiles. And whenever I got a good match, it was a good match. But then for every one good match, there was about 6 projectile spams. And I managed to beat them because, I mean, if you use, because I play as Juri, so if you use Juri's, one of her moves, I don't know which, it's like the fucking bat, it's either half or quarter circle, I can't remember, but quarter circle, clockwise, I think, kick. I don't know. She does like a lunge in the air and then she like crescent kicks down on them. So you can like jump the projectiles and close the distance. But like, whatever. My point being is that my experience was very, very just exactly what I expected it to be. And it was just projectile spam. It was nothing good. It was just good fights every once in a while, but then just projectile, projectile, projectile. Oh, here's a flash kick that covers the whole screen, flash kick that covers the whole screen. Oh, you want to get closer? Sorry, flash kick that covers the whole screen. And then once they push you away, projectile, 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 projectile. And it just got so infuriating that I was just like, fuck this. And I stopped playing. Like, I managed to get to, I think, Super Bronze ranking or something like that. But I would keep losing my ranking because suddenly a fucking guy who has just like the most bullshit fucking projectile spam would just suddenly hit me no matter what. And even if I blocked, it felt like I'd still get hit. Not to mention there's some moves that you can't tell if is a low, because I had a move that looked like a mid. It looked like a mid kick to the gut. And somehow it counted as a low. And I've had highs that look like they're not highs, and then they're highs. I've had moves that look high, but then they're mids. And there's just so many moves that look like they're one thing and they're not. But that's not even the problem, because I can overlook that if it wasn't for the fucking egregious amount of projectile spam. Like, just, like, and I get it. Like, people can just be like, oh, we'll just play as a projectile person. It's like, I don't want to do that. I want to play as the character I want to play as. Like, if I play Mortal Kombat 11, I don't want to play as whoever is, like, best suited for whoever I'm fighting. If, like, someone picks, like, Katana, and if there's a character that's good at dealing with Katana, I don't want to be that character. I want to be Mileena, because that's who I want to pick. Mileena's my favorite character, so that's who I'm going to pick. Juri is one of my favorite characters, so I'm going to pick Juri. Even if, and people can be like, oh, well, then that's your fault for losing, but it's like, I feel like projectile spam is just bullshit in general. Just, in general, I think it's bullshit. Because I know like the fighting game community likes to like really get on people's ass when they're bad at fighting games and just be like, you just need to get good at the game, man. And it's like no amount of getting good makes you good at dealing with insanely fast projectiles that fills the screen, can't be jumped over, and sometimes just goes through your block because sometimes your character just puts their block down for no reason, even if you're holding back. Like, I don't know. So my experience with it was there were a lot of really good fights that I enjoyed, but like I said, way too many projectile spams and just spams in general. But I do suck at the game. I will say I suck at the game. I do really suck at the game. But this is like the one time I can look at something and say that I had matches where I lost because I was bad, and like when I lost those, I was like, "Damn, good fight, good fight." But whenever I saw nothing but projectile spam and I lost because the person could not fucking stop throwing projectiles and there was no way for me to get close to them, that's when I kind of realized, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not being nice about that. Like, I refuse to just be like, good game, good fight to a person who's just gonna spam. Like, if they wanted to spam a combo, or if they wanted to spam a special move that can at least function normally, I'd be fine. But when they throw like 30 projectiles in the span of a minute and you literally can't jump over them and you have to sit there blocking repeatedly as you take chip damage, it's kind of bullshit. So yeah, I don't know. That was my experience with playing Street Fighter V online, and I wish it was better because it was just nothing but spam, just projectiles out the ass. And I thought Street Fighter V was like a very not projectile heavy fighting game because it felt like every time I watched people play it, it was like mostly just hand to hand. Like the two people playing would just go ape shit with their combos. But then I play it and people don't even want to get close to you. They don't even want to throw a punch. They just want to throw projectiles. So yeah, that's my experience with it. It was unfortunately not very good, and that's just shitty because I wanted to have fun with it, and I should have known. I should have known that playing online would be a fucking wasteland of spam. So yeah, no matter how good I get at the game, nothing can prepare me for just getting spammed. Because spam is worse than even the best player. Like someone could literally go, like whoever the top Street Fighter player is, that person would get washed by the most spamming piece of shit possible. Like I don't know who the best Street Fighter 5 player is, but if he was to go against one of the biggest spammers, he'd lose in a heartbeat. Like the best player would literally get washed in like a second flat because projectiles in Street Fighter 5 are some of the most egregious knockback bullshit I've ever seen. So yeah, I don't know. It's just me whining about it because it's like, God, I had so many good matches. I wanted those matches to continue. And I wanted to have more good matches where I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. This is so good. This actually like looks like a really good like this is like looks how like a fighting game should be played. And then some people would just stand in a corner and just throw projectiles and it was bullshit. So yeah, I don't know. Just me ranting angrily because it's just like fuck you. Like why can't you just fucking play the game, dude? Like why do you have to like make everyone else not have fun because you spam? Like it's so bullshit. So, yeah, whatever.